Welcome back. We're gonna do the recap of these SuperBet events. We covered last time the first 3 rounds, right? So today we're gonna cover the round number 4. By the way, speaking, who is currently leading? Fabi is looking very, very strong. Leading the tournament was +2. Wesley then and Rapport, Richards fresh after his prep with Dink. They're both at +1. Rapport is actually doing better than his protege. Okay. So then we have Dink, Giri, Alriza, and Nepo at 50%. It is very unusual to see Maxim Vasiliagraf at minus score. I'm actually shocked. And seeing Duda at -1 is also pretty shocking. Yeah, you should expect. But okay, as been mentioned before, there is a World Cup later today. Not today, but later in this year. People are saving all their prep for that. So, all right, let's do this. So Alrizad beats our famous Dick Bogdan, who is a very strong Blitz player on chess.com. He beats him in the classical game. Let's see the game. This is an amazing experience for Mr. Dick. So hopefully he uses this to take some lessons and improve his chess. Bishop e2 is unusual. I don't really like it. But the idea is you can play bishop d3 later, and then this pawn on h6 potentially could be a sort of weakness after this central pawn. Yeah, but black plays bishop b4. That's how I played against Magnus in one of the Singapore Cups. And the idea is also like London system, you want to take this knight and keep control of the e4 square. Bishop a5, but this is very ancient theory. b4, the idea again, if you take on b4, there is intermediate knight d5, take on f6, okay? So, bishop c7, and now b5, which is actually the second line. And it makes sense because white wants to take on c6 and play c5, and this pawn will be actually pretty weak. But black has access to this e5. So white wants to keep pressure on this pawn in case black plays e5, so that you take on e5 and this becomes isolated pawn. Okay. So knight b6 is very, very interesting. But okay, it's actually played. Take. Okay, very sharp, yeah? c5. Right, very interesting game. Yeah, bc6 is also possible. But I guess he didn't like something like this. And then maybe some potential e4 because you cannot take this because knight is hanging, yeah? But, you know, white has to spend a lot of time, take this knight out. And then doesn't seem reasonable. So taking here makes more sense. And then playing knight b5, right? Castles, rook c1, knight c4. Probably bishop here and knight d2, yeah. Trying to use the advantage of the spin, but there's always this famous idea. Check, and boom, yeah. Even here, apparently white is a little bit better. I will not be surprised if both players actually seen this line. So rook b7, instant draw. Computer plays bishop d6, forces the knight here. And this is equal, but white is pressing, okay? So that's why Alireza probably didn't play it. He went for this, but now it's like Catalan. Except black is stuck with this weakness on c6. So white has several plans. You can play e4, h3, bishop e3, and then prepare this like in Catalan, right? You prepare this recapture of this pawn, making sure black has no pawn breaks, etc. Mr. Dick plays knight a4 immediately. I think he just wants Alright, so he plays this, but I don't like this move. Looks like a wrong rook anyway. You need this rook here, and this rook might be needed for a4, a5 later in case you play knight c5, yeah. So I don't really like this move. It seems like an incorrect rook. You know, the problem of which rook has to go somewhere, yeah, it's like eternal problem. There is no clear-cut guideline. You have to sort of look into the position of potentials, yeah. Queen d5, and yeah, but I think black is just okay now because you know, white doesn't take this pawn, then this pawn is alive, and now, you know, control of this square potentially coming. White has to be very careful now. Rook b8. Okay, knight b2 is definitely. I mean, it's even optically doesn't look right. But okay, but it makes sense, right? You stop this, and if you take on c4, white is a little bit better. But the problem is you don't take on c4 because you have this move. So bishop c5, there is like c3 and queen a2. Queen a2, okay? So, but if the bishop moves here, it's still c3. And now you cannot take this pawn, period. So knight c5, okay, knight d2, take. Knight c4 looks very reasonable, but it's just draw. e5 is a fighting move, yeah? e5 is a move to play for a win for black. Okay, so Alireza feels like he is much stronger than this guy, and he feels like he can outplay him here. Pretty bold statement. Yeah. I'm kind of curious why rook d1 is so bad. I mean, that makes perfect sense, right? Playing the rook, then queen here, take control of the square, open the rook. Here, then take, yeah. Yeah, looks queen a2 maybe. Yeah, but queen a2, bishop b2. And it's kinda still okay for black, yeah, because queen gets to f7. We control the entry squares, looks pretty equal. But okay, maybe a little bit better for black, yeah. Easier to play. Alright, so he plays e4, queen d8, taking on d4 just leads to a draw. Again, fighting move, rook d1, take, queen d4. The computer suggests g3, because now this bishop and knight are really well placed. These guys are a bit off, yeah, so that means that black really took his chances here in this game. Yeah, if Bogdan just plays g3 and just waits a little bit longer to recapture this pawn, then white is definitely okay. Bishop f4, second line. And now this rook c2, okay. Oh, he got scared. Okay, he got scared of rook d8. But you need to play g3. You need to close this bishop and make a loop for the king. You really need to do that. Maybe he was afraid of this. Queen h5. Yeah, but king g2 is very strong. King takes care of himself, protects these squares, and also there's no mate. Yeah, knight protects this very important square, and then you're ready to counterattack. Alright, so it looks still pretty equal after the computer move like this. Neutralized, bishop goes home, and it's nothing special for white. He plays rook f1, and this is kind of passive. Still okay. Still okay, because the difference in knights, yeah. g3. Knight c8, okay, wow. Yeah, this is a very interesting game, actually. I feel like white was, you know, pressing, actually, this game. And he didn't press much. Yeah, rook b8 is very natural, but knight a6, okay, knight c8. Queen b7 is probably knight d6. Wait, no, knight d6. Oh, knight a7. Oh my god. Ooh. Very tricky. Very, very, very tricky, Alriza. Wow, okay. Yeah, I was thinking like knight goes to e7, g6, and then maybe f4 here, but nope. Alright, so white plays bishop c1, but the queen now is under attack, yeah. Yeah, but the pawn on h2 is gone. Alright, so in the space of pretty much a couple moves, white went from normal position to worse, yeah? So he had to play queen c4, queen e2, trade the queens. He probably didn't feel like the moment of danger for his position that the knight arrives. And he probably missed this move as well. Okay, so he had to take it and play king g2. Rook b1. And this is very, very strong with the draw. Yeah. Why is it draw? Because if you take here, there's queen f7 actually. 96, okay. Check. f3, and you have to see this line. You have to play this, this. Threat of mate forces this, and then check. Check, and it's perpetual. Okay. Yeah. Not an easy line to see when you have less than 1 minute on the clock, that's for sure. But rook d2 looks bad, because after queen h2, this king is just under attack. 19 seconds, better position for black, winning position in fact. You play a safe move, but bishop d4, very strong. Rook c8 is a threat, bishop protects the knights. Yes, white's position is gone, man. Rook c8, yep. And queen f3. Unstoppable, rook e8, rook takes c4 threat. All black pieces very active. Alright. What does it mean? What does mean what? Yeah, I separated the streams, right? That's why I stopped. I also needed to have some time for food, okay? I got a grab of rice and grechka. I don't know what grechka is in English. My God. You know, I lived in the US for so many years, but I still don't know words for some common household food items. I think it's gravy, but I could be wrong. All right. So that was this game. So white self-destructed because he got into time trouble, okay? So the lesson of this game, don't get into time trouble, because your opponent is going to complicate the position, sharpen it up, and you're not going to have enough time to calculate your way out. And Nepo plays c5, the Tarish. The infamous Tarish opening. Fabi actually plays very cautiously e3. But we do know this is one of those popular lines that white enjoys. It's very safe to play for white. You take on c5, take on c6, play b3, bishop d2, and you have very nice pawn structure. Black has pair of bishops, but you know, black is stuck with some weaknesses. So I'm curious what was Nepo's prep. So bishop d7, bishop d6. Okay, so there is a line like this in the Caro-Kann defense, in pawn of attack, reverse colors. Okay, and white has already a castle, yeah. So this is identical. It's considered to be okay for black, but let's see, knight f3 and b3, yeah. So we're watching the classical queen pawn isolated position, where black just trying to make a draw pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, so there is d4 move, which probably should draw immediately, because if you play knight e2, thinking of the spin, there is this bishop. Okay, knight g4 is even stronger, yeah. Then take, and bishop is hanging. So you gotta take or play knight e4. If you play knight e4, there is a business of this flank. Also pretty famous, and this is just completely equal, okay? And if you take on t4, then pretty much bishop takes, or actually queen takes. And black is okay. Because knight a4, there's this famous trick, which is a much better version for black. And you don't have bishop e5. Alright, so I'm surprised Nepo didn't play d4, he plays this. Probably, you know, one thing about the Nepo, he is like, sometimes he just can't help himself and just plays really fast. And doesn't calculate. He uses intuition a lot. At the top level, you cannot play like this. You really need to calculate. It still looks equal, but f4, nice move, Fabi. Pretty standard reaction in these positions. You guarantee yourself a nice place for the bishop. You also, if the bishop moves and you put something on d4, then this bishop is more or less dead. Okay? So he plays this move, but I think he should have just, you know, taken here and played knight e4. And try to survive with the knight on e4, because knight is very, very strong. Okay. When I was playing in the 90s, did I do the sport? Yeah, I was running all the time, pretty much. Not much sport, just running. Yeah, I was running well until until I moved to Russia. Okay, because there I stopped running. I still ran a little bit, but very rarely. But then when I stopped running, we moved to St. Petersburg. I tore my menisc. Yeah, and after that, just no more running for me. Also, when I was running, I had some back problems because, you know, when you run, I didn't care about my shoes. Yeah, and shoes is very important because every time you move your foot on the concrete, right, your spine like gets a hit. So you gotta be very, you gotta know what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, it's okay when you're young, but when you get older, you gotta start, you know, using your brain. Okay, so knight e2, bishop b6, bishop d4, and this is very comfortable position for white. I would play, you know what I would play? I would consider playing, okay, it doesn't work. Yeah, then taking on d4 and queen a5, I guess, makes sense. Yeah. But after queen e2, again, you see the difference in these knights, yeah? And the difference in the bishops is too obvious. While it's true, white has this kind of weak pawn, but yeah, I don't understand why not bishop d7 and then rook e8, but okay, rook e8 probably the same thing. h3, bishop d7. Alright, so we got this position. Minuscule advantage for white. It's minuscule. You know, these positions are saved even when the pawn is on f2. So you had to play queen c3. Yeah, you gotta play queen c3 and go into the endgame. But he probably didn't want to go into this endgame versus Fabi, and then because you know you're gonna be suffering for hours, okay? You're gonna be suffering for hours versus Fabi. And you gotta play like a bloody computer, okay? Because Fabi is like that accurate. In technical positions, he is a bloody monster. Okay, so queen c5 with the idea of a5, but that's a4. I don't know about a4. Okay, it's possible, yeah. b6. All right, so queen a3. I don't know why not queen c3 and still going to the endgame. I still lost why black is worse there. Okay, queen a3, king h2. h6, okay, queen back. So they're playing back and forth, rook c5 as possible. It's played, knight f3. So white is like trying different ways to poke his opponent. Knight moves, rook straight, and it looks absolutely equal. So let's see how Nepo self-destructed yet once again. King f8, pretty normal. Yeah. Okay, so what do you do in this position? Usually you should really consider playing knight to d6, because knight really covers all these squares. Okay, so knight e8, knight d6 is one of the ways. I guess Nepo just wants to sort of wait and see. Makes a lot of sense. King f2, okay, king f7, king f8, knight c2. White is ready to do what? I don't understand. Oh yeah, okay, knight e4, definitely mistake. I mean, all Nepo had to do is just sit tight and wait, yeah? Pretty much. Just don't play king e7 because of queen e5 check. Because that was White's idea, yeah? You get that queen there with the tempo. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you can play this. And if queen d4, queen c5 even. Yeah, this is starting to look a little bit unpleasant. Yeah, maybe it's playable, but you have to when you have to start finding moves like this, it's the sign that things are not so simple. But it's still playable, yeah. And if you try to play queen b8, your queen is not going to be there for long. Yeah, this queen, and then counter strike, yeah, counter strike. Very, very important. While white queen is completely out of the game. Remember this move, yeah. And then g3, then knight f6. And white king is not safe at all. All right, yeah, bishop c8, knight d7 is kind of very hard. So what happened? He plays knight e4. This is also a draw. But now, this bishop is kind of a problem. Nice knight. Still, how do you win this with white, yeah? Yeah, white activates his pieces, knight back to d4, and it's already advantage white, yeah? Wow. Yeah. Damn. Because this is a problem, yeah? You know, I had a game like this against Nick DeFirmin once, and he actually put the bishop on d3, and it made a lot of sense. Because he would just keep chasing my king with checks and attacking this pawn. And it was a draw game. Yeah, after f5 is definitely a problem, but what to do? Why not take? Yeah, see, it's a problem. So this position is a huge problem for black. So black problem is that he plays knight e4. Okay, don't play knight e4 in this position. You get your pawn sort of like out of the isolated zone and you're ready to connect, but this knight is just too strong. 5b is too strong, okay? In this position. 5b is very, very strong in these positions. Another careless move. Okay, but that, and queen c7, you see problems, yeah? Problems, because queen and knight consistently create problems. Yeah, I expected king e8 here for sure. Check, and then yeah, you have queen e7, yeah? That's how you protect this pawn. Then queen t5, and queen f6, and queen now protects everything. Yeah, I'm very surprised Nepo didn't play this. Was he afraid of this check maybe? And queen d6. Ah, he probably didn't want to play this endgame, because you have to play this, yeah? And probably he hated this endgame, because white king can come to h4. And then play g4. And it looks very, very dangerous, because check, then king goes to attack this guy. But according to the computer, black's fine. Because you have this move. And your bishop starts hitting all these pawns that are on the light squares. Then it's probably draw, yeah. At least very good chance for black to draw. But looks very scary. So check. Pawn on b6 is gone. Check. Another pawn is gone. Very nice technique by Fabi. Queen c5, very, very strong. Bishop c4, queen c8. And king e1, and it's game over, yeah. Because now extra b pawn, and king can just actually walk up to here and then go. But he wins the bishop. Yeah. All right. Very clean. Very clean assassination, pretty much. All right, what we have here, we have Legrave versus Giri. Oh, the Scotch game. All right, so everybody's playing Scotch, yeah? So the Scotch is a must. I remember h4, I've discussed this move back in Moscow with Morozevich, who was playing Scotch like all the time. He was one of the leading Scotch specialists, Morozevich. And we were discussing this line with him. And even though I don't know this at all, but we sort of looked at it together. And I remember like it was so complicated. d6, there's two moves, d6, f6, and maybe even g6. Then of course we have to remember that Garry Kasparov pioneered this whole thing, right? Yeah, this endgame is okay for black. Yeah, I was expecting d5 to be honest. Bishop e7, bishop g5. Bishop d5. Yeah, the computer says cd5, but in human terms this is very dangerous, because if knight gets to d4, then this pawn majority, good knight versus bad bishop, chances to win, okay? So that's why he took with the bishop. I think it's perfectly human way to play. Even though you get stuck with these weak pawns, but they're very close, and black has rook and powerful bishop. This bishop doesn't look like much, but it's still a bishop. And bishop and rook in the endgame is very, very strong. See, bishop is protected. There's the threat of rook e2, something. King protects now these pawns, and rook is free to go. And I don't believe that this is better for white. Bishop e2 is very, very strong, because white's only chance was to play rook a6 check. So black takes it away. And they agree on a draw. Okay. Alright, makes sense. Okay. So we have this huge mess. a3. Okay. So we saw h3 in the Catalan by Dink, and then now we see a3, right? Okay, makes sense. b5, and black just locks absolutely everything. Yeah, completely equal. You know, this kind of structure you get from the Scandinavian. Sergei Tivikov was one of the leading world's experts in Scandinavian. He played these positions all his life, and I remember he said white has nothing in these positions. And obviously Sergio knows what he's talking about, so... Yeah, why not c3? What? This is a bit confusing, but okay. Rook e8, rook e6, just draw, yeah. Alright, so it seems like these guys didn't really want to play chess today. It kind of shows. Alright, so we have Rapport versus... So Rapport is playing main line. Yeah, Dink played the e3, queen c2 in the match. The Rapport plays. main line, and then there's bishop c5. This is a new trend. This first time Fabi beat Nepo, it's not going to be the last time. Fabi is, in technical positions, Fabi is as strong as Magnus. Okay? I mean, in technical positions, really, in endgames, Fabi, Magnus would have huge problem defending this position against Fabi. If it was not Nepo, if it had been Magnus, he would run into huge problems as well, okay? All right. The whole thing about Magnus is that he knows that he cannot get these positions against Fabi, so he will avoid getting into this position in the first place, because he knows how to play against Fabi. All right, so let's look at this. Castle, 95 is a draw, so d3, and black plays h6, and this bishop kind of looks ridiculous, like, there's rook c1 attacking him. But guys, remember my game where I played against somebody in Title Tuesday, right? Or it was also similar, yeah? Or it was playing or something. You want to give up this bishop for this knight, a5, a4, bishop e6, f6, and these two knights and bishop and queen are very, very strong. Especially if you... I showed you the game from Bundesliga, right? The last game that I played in the last round, and I made a draw in a better position. I had this game, remember? And yeah, I misplayed it. All right, so take, bishop d2, queen d6, rook d8. This is all theory, by the way. It's crazy, but theory has moved leagues. And this is now reversed accelerated dragon, right? Bishop on c3, knight c4, bishop takes on d4, but black is better. And bishop d5, very nice. Just eliminate this defender, then this bishop is very strong. Queen b3, correct, and knight d4, very accurate. Yeah, I think probably you should but if you take, then bishop c5, c6, black is not worse at all. Black is actually a little bit better, maybe. So he tries to keep the bishop on b6, but it's just wrong. Black has no weaknesses, okay? No weaknesses. Absolute equal position. All right, good job by Wesley. So that's the round 4 of the SuperBet. So now we're gonna go to watch some games from the Sigeman event. Ooh, they play fast, yeah. All right, so we saw this round, right? I didn't see this round, so let's see this round. 1-4 beats Erigasi. Erigasi's weakness was his endgame. I remember that, but that's been like 4 years ago. Bishop d6 is modern way of playing chess. It's like also in Sicilian Rossolima. Remember, guys, black also plays e5, bishop d6. That was the contest between Nacker and Wesley So in some of their playing finals, whatever. And the idea of bishop d6 is that you want to play rook e8 and keep an option of putting the bishop on c5, which is way more active than on a fade, okay? So, rook e8. Okay, this is really super modern chess, yeah? Oh my god. I mean, I would have thought at least now to put this bishop somewhere here and then play d6, but no, rook b8. All right, b5, and finally the bishop is moved, yeah? Okay, d6, c3, standard Spanish torture, and bishop e6 and d5. This is how Magnus played. He also played this against Jan Nepomniachtchi in their match, and he just demonstrated that black is completely equal, because he just plays d5 and that's it. It's a total trade. Okay, white is better. So what happened? Where did black gone wrong? Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is a critical moment. He decided to play safe, but it was wrong. Here you have to really take the chance and start pushing these guys here, because white's attack on the king side, it is double-edged sword, yeah, because of the double pawns here. And you know, these pawns are actually very, very fast. If black doesn't get mated, then black is better. All right, so let's see. Queen g4, threatening f6. Why not queen d7? Queen d7, e6, and f6. Right, that's one of the ways for white to play this, but even here, yeah, after king h7, it's not so clear. Not so clear. Because you don't have knights. Knight is very strong in the attack, but not here. But okay, it is possible. But he plays rook c8, and after f4 he wants to trade. I think is okay. King h2. And now you had to sort of play rook c6, yeah. So you can run your rook to the second, create counter threats. Rook e8 is a kind of passive move, and after rook a6, very nice shot by Van Forst. And rook d6, very nice. And white is a pawn up in the rook endgame. Pawn up in the rook endgame. Wait, what? Oh, he didn't play b3, okay. Yeah, because now this is just draw. The threat is rook d7, rook f8, e6. That's why the computer plays rook c8, because then you have this. Okay. So then e6, and then we get this position, which is probably a bit dangerous for black, but maybe black can hold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure black can hold this. Alright, so instead he plays rook e2, rook d7, rook f8, king h3, and takes. Okay, so we have two pair of rooks, which complicate things considerably for black. If you have one pair of rooks, it's immediate draw. But two pair of rooks is a problem, because yeah, there's always the threat of rook b7 and e6 break, and then potentially you can get the king here, or you can play rook b7, rook e7, and e6, yeah. So king g7, rook b7. The computer really likes rook b6, rook f6, but I don't think it really matters. Rook e1, okay. So it's a draw. So what happened? What? What? No king g7? What? Oh my god. He didn't play king g7. That's crazy. It's actually very crazy. Yeah, you know what he missed? He missed that both rooks are getting traded. Black only saw this line. Black only counted this with a draw, but he completely forgot about this. And this is a win. Wow. Yep. He forgot about that. He just forgot about this idea because king f7 here and g4. Wow, okay. Yep. Disaster. King g7, just draw. My god, okay. Okay, the next game, Keimer versus Riddler. Ooh, e5, okay. b5, my god, what's going on? I suspect this is some sort of theory. The idea is that you take this pawn if white takes here, takes on b5. Against this endgame win against some of the candidates. You remember Magnus. Magnus said 5 is not so good in simple positions. I guess he's wrong. No, that was the wrong statement. If I'm not too tired, okay. I played 2 title Tuesdays today. I just went over this SuperBet. I mean, I love chess and I love seeing games, but sometimes too much. Yeah. Okay, we'll see. Okay. So okay, e3 first line. So this is theory then. These guys are just theoretical monsters. I remember Peter was also very good at theory thing. I was terrible at theory. Knight a5. Oh, the fireworks begin. Knight d5. Can't take on c4 because of check, right? So, but you can take here and apparently cd5 is better, but I don't trust this engine because it's very low depth. Even though it's like neural network, but still. Bishop d5 guarantees white small advantage because of, but not like this. Yeah, I think b3 has to play. b3 or b1 and then pray for a miracle to get the bishop. If you get b3, bishop to c3 and then e4, and potentially knight to c4, white is better. But you're not gonna get it probably. That's the problem because see, the computer shows queen b6, queen b5 line with the idea of bishop b2, knight b3 and c4. All right, so queen a4 and then you have this very, very strong move, c4. Very strong. And the idea is if you take this guy, then queen c7 and black is hitting this knight and white is paralyzed, okay? You don't have time for this. But if you play like this, then queen c2. And this bishop is still paralyzed. All right, so that's why he plays b4, but now black is, I think, fine. Bishop d8, bishop b4. All right, massive trades. All right, massive trades. All right, grandmasters will find a way to make a draw. All right, draw. Grandellos versus Gelfand. Gelfand plays bishop b4. Wow. Not an everyday move. Computer says castle first. I don't know. I think this is theoretical line. Yeah. Queen d3 runs into bishop f5. This is like in Queen's Gambit decline. There is some lines, so it's bishop f4. Not absolutely some crazy lines. This looks very similar. The reason you play this because if you play queen f6, wait, he just takes the knight, yeah? So queen h4, queen f6, and you have the square. You have this very nice square. Check. White has to take, check. And knight c8 is check, take the bishop. So you gotta play this. Wow. I suspect black is actually a little bit better, but... Oh, bishop d2 with idea of knight f7, knight g5. Just make a draw. Alright. Nice, exciting, actually, game. Right, Gukish versus Mishra. Very interesting. So we play knight b3. We're going to... Oh, wait, e6. And g4. Scheveningen. First line. Yeah, I play like this with black, I remember, but white is always a little bit better. Apparently, it's important to play f4, but king b1 is like normal move. But castles, yeah, and b4, yeah. Yeah, now black is dangerously close to this king. Like d5, d4 coming, a5. White has to be a bit careful. I still think you have to go on with the standard plan, yeah. So queen e3, and he missed f5 here. Yeah, 5 would have been very, very strong. But after this, it's probably equal, yeah. Wait, why not h6 immediately? Yeah, okay, very, very tricky position actually. Yeah, h6 is like advantage white. I don't understand g5. h6, but queen d4. Okay, small advantage for white, but f6, very, very, very important. You have to break this flank, or open the rook and get your king out of this box. So you guys remember what happened today when you allow this box, right? Very dangerous, so you gotta break it for sure. f6. Bishop h3 makes sense. Protect the pawn. Alright, white has very nice pawn formation here. But this is doubled. This knight is pretty much untouchable, and black can play bishop d7 and hit this guy. So the position is sort of like dynamically equal. Knight c5 allows knight b8. Right, he had to play this and this. But now this is very complicated. With the king coming, pawns and rooks very strong in endgame against minor pieces. Yeah, I can see why I didn't go for this, but I think it was better than knight c5, because that knight b8 black is just much better. Oh, he misplayed, yeah. Yeah, this is draw. Yeah, I had to play king f7, of course. Okay, d4 is very hard. Very hard. Yeah, d4 is very hard to see. Very, very hard, guys. Very hard. The idea is that if you rook c7, and this knight goes to b4, potentially, but just d3 check and d2. This pawn is unstoppable. But after this, white is absolutely okay, because very strong bishop, and yeah. I think black should have played actually a little bit more, because still double pawns, yeah, still connected. I would probably expect more play than a draw at this point. All right, so that was this round, yeah. All right, let's take a look at this round. Two kids. Oh, Jabava London system. Okay. Jabava London system. c5. This looks okay for black. Bishop f3, g5 coming. Yeah, Ergaze is playing it like London system. Yeah, g5, just push, 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 push here. All right, now it's g6. Okay. The youngsters found a way to just lock down everything. Okay, good job. Gelfand made a draw versus Gukesh. This is, oh, very ancient line. You don't see this every day these days. Knight cd5. fe5. To be honest, I don't know these positions well. Looks equal. Black has a pawn up though, yeah? Black has a pawn up, so a little bit better for black. Bishop e7. White goes after this pawn. Knight b6. Knight b6 is passive, just probably a draw, you know, because this bishop is very, very strong against this king. And this pawn is not going to be alive for a long time. Surprised at not playing knight takes d5, because this is certainly better for black, but it's still draw, yeah? Because opposite color bishops. Yeah, it's just draw again. Yeah, the bishop is not getting removed, because if the rook goes this way, the rook goes behind and bishop stays here and you cannot advance. Alright, so complicated game. Looks fair enough. We're looking at this. This is Pete versus this guy, Queen d3. Okay. This is a specialty of this move is a specialty of the St. Petersburg Grandmasters. Vitigov played this against me in one of the classical games. Alright, a4, okay, Scheveningen. Yeah, but black is okay, yeah? Pair of bishops. Trade absolute everything. White has a knight and a queen, but black controls all these squares. Alright, white cannot make progress, and you have to make a draw here. Very nice move. White is actually worse a little bit. So, but okay, not anymore. Again, the Grandmasters will find a way to make a draw. And the final game is this. F3, right? What the Dink played in the recent World Chess Championship match. Am I missing any comments? Wonder kids in former times are often bad at the opening theory. Alright, good night, Mr. Ivanov. And this is also a very famous line, but I only know fe4 move. I do not know bishop f4 move. Apparently the computer likes it. So Van Forest, yeah, these Dutch guys, you know, all these Dutch guys, like Van Forest, Geary, and Tari, yeah, they like a bunch of Hogwarts wizards, yeah, who work on their theory, creating magic in the opening. No wonder they say about the Dutch people, yeah, they're like very hard-working people. Really shows. These guys are like really working on their theory. e5 is coming, yes? Yes, e5 is coming, black survives. So white is gambling on being able to win this pawn. Knight g4, knight goes to e5, bishop e6. Yeah, this is kind of strange moment. I don't know, knight f5. Yeah, knight f5 makes a lot of sense actually, because you want to take the pawn, finally. But if you trade, white has a very, very dangerous bishop, potentially. Especially in the attack, okay? Yeah, but rook e8 and knight e3, yeah? So knight d5. Yeah, you just trade this knight and black is better. So you have to play this. Knight e5 is not good. So knight e3 is forced, take on d6. And f6 with the idea of queen g5. Oh my god, look at this crazy line. So because the threat is queen f5, you have to do something. Queen a5 check. Black is better. Okay, so that's why you have to play king c2, then queen c8, and you're pinning this rook. Unpinning. Active defense. Don't forget, black king is kind of open. But you need this pawn here. You need this pawn because it takes away so many key squares. And now finally, g6 and domination of the knight and bishop here. This is, and bishop e4, bishop d5 attacking this pawn, yeah? Yeah, white doesn't exchange down, but because of the super strong pawn, bishop going to d5, super strong knight here, and very passive black position. That's why the computer likes black position. It reminds me of that game. Remember, guys, there was this very famous game where the Leela played against Stockfish, right? And it gave Stockfish some free stuff, but Stockfish had to put his queen, his queen on h8, and then Leela just locked that queen out. It was absolutely magnificent game. Yeah. Alright, so knight f5. Very hard to see all this, of course. So king b1. Grandmaster sees safe move, you play safe move. Queen b6. Black immediately tries to create threats. Knight e5. Knight f5 finally, but queen b3. Okay. And very, very important, this move. You really need to trade everything. Because of this rook, right? Hanging, you can't take this knight. So the computer suggests knight d4. Because after this, it's just draw. Yeah, rook c2, probably, you know, he was afraid rook c8, rook b6. White king is way too open, so he just forced the draw. Alright, very interesting. Alright, that was the last game, okay? So we did the recap, guys. Tari is Norwegian? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, of course Tari is Norwegian. But would it be fair to say that the Dutch belong to the northern, like, people, or not really? Probably not really, right? Because Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, they're like kind of Scandinavian guys, yeah? But Dutch, I mean, considering the Scandinavians sort of, you know, the Vikings, they invaded Europe so many times, right? I have a feeling like, you know, Dutch people, they have a lot of Scandinavian blood in them. So that's why I'm asking. I don't really know, okay? They're all Germanic. Who is winning SuperBet? Fabi is leading the tournament, he is looking very, very good. So I think Fabi has a very good chance to win. Alright guys, it is 2 o'clock and 21 minutes in the morning. I started playing Title Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, I need a break, guys. I need a break. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Arena Kings. Okay? Unfortunately, I wanted to do some arenas as well, but tomorrow is impossible. So it's just Arena Kings tomorrow. But on Thursday or on Friday, we're gonna do the simul, because again, this weekend I have to go to play the French team championship event. Okay, so we're gonna do the simul on Thursday. All right, guys. Oh yeah, there was this guy who wanted me to look at this game from Capablanca Memorial. Okay, let's do that final game. Okay. I just don't see it. Actually, let's look at Sharia Masters. Who is playing there? Oh, there are no games yet. They started actually. Where's the events? Capablanca. I don't see Capablanca actually. Oh, 70 years of Oscar Pano. That's great. Olympic Esports. Russian Championship. Is this the events? Sadvani Raunakas in Cuba. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's something. An Indian player plays in Cuba. Cool. And Swain is there. Okay. So he said it was some game. Oh my god, Swain beat somebody in this Schlechter Slav, right? This looks like Schlechter Slav to me. Yeah, that was the kind of position I really hated. I really tried to avoid very hard because that kind of position is terrible. All right, I don't see anything. I don't see anything exciting, to be honest. All right, gentlemen. Good night then, okay? Good night, everybody. See you guys tomorrow at the Arena Kings. Bye-bye. Thank you for stopping.